Hey guys, welcome back to my drawing video. Today I'm filling in our second 12 by 18 centimeter box. This is the second head study for the session, so feel free to draw along with me. And before that, somehow I forgot to turn on my microphone. So in today's video, you can't hear my pencil and it sounds a bit empty. That's actually kinda silly. Sorry guys, sometimes I can't do simple things properly when I'm too excited to draw apparently. So I'm doing a voiceover to make up for it. I really hope you don't mind. So I'm starting this drawing from the hair again, just like in the previous study. Since I'm not doing any preliminary sketches, beginning with the hair helps me feel out the overall form and the size of the head. The hair is big and loose, so it's an easy place to establish the flow and proportions before I commit to the smaller, more precise features. In this drawing, our beautiful Xiaojie is in a full profile shot, so the hair takes up a huge portion of the whole head. And honestly, that's why I love starting with the hair. It looks complicated, but it's actually the easiest part. People who say hair is difficult are just overthinking it. Once you break it into a few big shapes and follow the flow, it almost draws itself. And here, our first layer of the hair is completed, and now I will draw another layer on top of the first one. And here's the next layer. So, the way I approach the hair is by building it out of small clumps of short strokes. Even though the girl has long hair, I don't actually draw long, sweeping lines. Short strokes are much easier to control, and they create a really believable texture. The key is simply following the direction of the hair. I never go against the flow, I just ride along with it and let the strokes stack naturally. I add a bit of angle variation here and there so the marks don't all run perfectly parallel. And that little bit of irregularity makes the whole thing feel more organic and alive. In this section here, I'm looking for the top of the hair. That spot basically decides how big the head is going to be. So I use the hair to establish the overall height and shape. By shaping the top first, I can feel the form of the head before committing to anything else. A few hair strands here and there. So I feel like the head needs to go wider, so let's add more width, basically. And maybe more. And this is looking good, so I'll mark down the back of her head here. and let's create some more texture. When it comes to layering the hair, I like to think in simple value zones. The top stays lighter because it bounces the light source, the middle mass gets a bit darker, and the bottom drops into the deepest tones. Working this way makes the structure really clear without me having to fuss over tiny details. I keep the top planes soft and light, then gradually build up the shadows as the hair curves underneath. At the back of the head, the hair gathers into a bun, so everything becomes more compact and layered. You get these little folds and bunches where the sections are pulled inward, creating natural tension points. I don't bother drawing every strand, I just focus on the main clumps that curve and twist toward the bun, then taper off as they meet the tie. That approach gives the whole area a sense of pull and structure. That's it for the hair structure near the bun. Now let me find the ear position first, before continuing the hair. And here, I'm just continuing the hair. And in this section, the hair will cover the top ear a little bit, and then dropping down due to gravity. There will be a lot of dark values here, but that's for later because it's easy. This will be the hair near her neck. And maybe for variations, this section here will go upwards. So as I said before, a lot of dark values around here. Some curvy hair strands would be nice here. And let me finish the hair bun here. And here, I want to let the hair loosen up a bit under the bun. Just a few sections dropping out gently, so it feels softer and more relaxed. Some more random hair strands over here. And let's now actually darken the dark part of the hair. When darkening the hair, I make sure my strokes still follow the direction of the flow. even in the deeper values, keeping the marks aligned with the strands helps keep everything readable and prevents the shadows from turning into a flat block. By layering these darker strokes along the natural curve of the hair, the texture stays intact and the depth comes through more convincingly. Also, try not to darken everything. For example, in this area here, the dark tone gradually lightens as it moves upward, so I'm only giving it a light shading. Okay, so let's continue this bottom part here. I'm giving her a bunch of slightly random curvy hair sections here. And she will have a really long hair today. A girl with long hair like this looks so elegant, and I really enjoy drawing this kind of hairstyle. And more sparse strokes in this section to finish it off. A bit of cleaning up here, guys. I want this to look clean. Okay, so now I'm changing to a new, sharper pencil. This is the same pencil as before, charcoal pencil, neutral grade from Marie's. I love it. I love the feel, the smooth wooden finish, the brownish tint, no shiny part like graphite, so perfect. But don't give up if you don't have this charcoal pencil. You obviously can do this kind of drawing with regular pencils. Okay, really carefully here. Now the nose bridge. And maybe I want to make this a bit curvy. And now the tip of the nose. Going straight down and slight angle to the right. Here's the philtrum. Let's give it some shading real quick down here. And this is going to be the nostril. The nose shadow. And now the upper lip. Okay, so don't forget to add the mouth corner, very important landmark. Some shading for the upper lip. Looks nice so far, and now the lower lip. Careful not to make this part too forward. I don't want her to have very thick lips. That won't look good on her. Some shadow under her mouth. Maybe more shading under here. And this is her chin. Maybe let's clean this area first. Right, so let's sketch the jawline lightly first. And from here is her neck. Before we move on to the eye, let's do the jawline first. So, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I think she looks wonderful, so I don't really want to mess up anything here. So let's cover the jaw with some hairs. And the hair shadow over here. Some more light shadow here from the hair. Perhaps more hair here. Okay, looks nice, so I'm going to start the collar here. Some more cleaning. And basically just warp it like this. A lot of hair strands in this area. Maybe make this hair strands longer. Alright, nice, and some more light sketch for her clothing. I'm not sure what she will be wearing today. I don't really plan it, so it's whatever. And what we need right now is some shading for her face. We don't want this to look flat, so under the cheekbone here would be great. And here as well, to make her head looks 3D. Just a light shading like this will do for now. Looks great so far, guys. But we need to push on. We don't want this 小姐 without eye, right? So let's start from the eyelid. And the eyeball itself. And just darken this whole thing, basically. The eye bag. Simple eyelashes for details. Don't need a lot of eyelashes because this is a side view portrait. And going up here, we're going to connect the eye with the eyebrow. I'm marking this part here, so basically the right side is the eyelid and the left side is the nose bridge. And up here would be her eyebrow. Okay, nice. Not too dark here because we're going to use a blending stump to soften the texture, and that will naturally darken the area. And maybe I can actually start removing the box. Nice, so let's move on to my favorite stage of the drawing, and that's where I start softening things and darkening things with this blending stump tool. And I'll start from this darker patch of hair here to pick up some charcoal for my blending stump as well. You see, it starts softening things. Definitely don't overdo this, otherwise we'll lose those nice textures we've already established. And here as well. And I'm going to start paying attention to the transition between the light and dark values. And let's soften this neck area over here. I'm using the clean side of my blending stump so I don't accidentally darken it too much. The clothes, I don't really care. I should leave this alone so it looks sketchy. I like this already. Okay, now moving on to the face. Softening the darker areas first. And then wipe off the excess charcoal with tissue. Need to be super careful here because this area is light. And I want to darken this area further to enhance the 3D feeling for the head. More cleaning up. And finishing stage, looking for imperfections. And maybe a bit more darkening to make her looks perfect. Lastly, let's create some softer shading here for atmospheric feel. Okay, I'm done. So thank you for watching, guys. Hope you guys can follow along well today. See you guys in the next video. And moving on to our next 小姐